Please join me in welcoming Milwaukee County Executive Scott Walker.
Welcome. Thank you, Mark. Thanks. Welcome to Milwaukee County and welcome to Veterans Park. I know many of you are out there standing, but I want to see every single veteran of armed forces, whether they've been in active duty, the Guard and Reserve. Wave your hands. Let's give them all a huge round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. And we're certainly not going to forget those men and women who are still fighting right now to protect our freedoms and liberties. You know, just over 7 years ago, right here in Milwaukee County, led by a group of veterans and retirees who started at Brown Deer Senior Center and went across this county, from one side to the other, from the young to the old and everywhere in between, we took back our county government. And remember what the pundits said back then. We had to collect 70,000 signatures in 60 days, and they said it couldn't be done. Instead, remember what we did. In half the time, we collected twice as many signatures as was needed, and we took back our government. Remember what the pundits said at that time. They said events like this were all about anger. I got to tell you, when I learned about the pension, after years of dealing with high taxes and out-of-control spending, I was upset. My wife, Tonette, was upset. Our family was upset. Many of you were upset. But if it had just been about anger, people would have checked out. They would have moved out. But instead, they stood up and did something extraordinary. Not hundreds, not thousands, but tens of thousands of ordinary people did an extraordinary thing. They said, we're going to stand up and be united and take our government back. To me, that showed us that the true emotion on display was not anger. It was about hope. Hope that we together could bring our government back. And I want to tell you right now at events like this, I have that same feeling today when I look at this crowd and crowds like this across this great state and this great country. It's not about anger. It's about hope. Hope, not blind hope. Not blind hope based on a slogan, but hope that based on a real plan. You know, hope is great, but hope without a plan is just a dream. Making that dream a reality requires a real plan and real action, and we're the people who are going to make that happen. That real plan means economic opportunity and prosperity for all based on limited government, lower taxes, and restoring the preservation of our personal freedoms and liberties. We're going to take back our government. We've done it here. We can do it in Wisconsin, and by God, we're going to do it all across America. You see, the pundits have it wrong. It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's not about who stands on the right or who stands on the left. It's about who amongst us knows the difference between what's right and what's wrong, who is going to lead and who's going to get out of the way. We're ready to lead. Now, some in Washington and Madison think leadership is about putting their faith in the government. We put our faith where it belongs, in the people and the employers that make this state and this country great. Some believe that more bureaucracy is the answer to our problems and challenges. We believe that giving our people more freedom is the answer to solving our challenges. Some may say events like this are about isms. I agree. It's about patriotism. just tell you this. I have spent the last year traveling this state from one end to the other. I've been to Superior 3 times since January, from Door County to La Crosse, from Janesville to Wausau and everywhere in between. And I can tell you there are good, decent, hard-working people in this state. There are tremendous employers, many times 2 or 3 or 4 generations. And some who don't even pass it on to their family, but treat their employees like family, who want nothing more than to stay and grow in Wisconsin. We're a state filled with some of the best natural resources ever. No other state is surrounded by 2 Great Lakes and the greatest river in the country. 15,000 inland lakes, that's 5,000 more than Minnesota. Eat your heart out, Brett Favre. We are the best place in the world to live, to learn, to grow up in, to play in, to work in, and ultimately to retire in. What is failing us is not our people or our places. What is failing us is our government.
This video presentation has been brought to you by BadgerBlogger.com.